Hey guys, Kev here, and I have an unboxing to do for you. So this box comes by way of White Mountain Knives. I'm going to unbox it with a loaner from UrbanEDC Supply. So both of those will be linked below. You can use my code LeftyEDC at White Mountain Knives for 10% off and free shipping in the US. And I have a link down there for UrbanEDC Supply that helps the channel. You don't get a discount, sadly. I'm still working on that. But they went ahead, UrbanEDC Supply loaned me this Chaves Liberation flipper. And I think what's in this box is a Sangre flipper, unless it's something else, but we'll see. And I'm very curious to compare them. I really thought this was an interesting knife, but I wasn't going to love it. And I feel like I love this knife. It's stupid, and I really shouldn't because of how sharp the edges are, and it doesn't have the full choil. But there's just something about the flipping action and everything. I've just really enjoyed it. And today for me is 4th of July, so hope you guys all had a great weekend. This will be way in the future for you, but I thought it was fitting to carry the Liberation on that day. So yes, we have two Artisans. We actually have all four knives in here. Wow, okay. The Chaves, and then we have a Kubey. So I didn't realize they'd all be in here. So let's start with the Chaves, since I kind of led with that, and we'll go from there. So the Chaves is going to be, like I said, the STSW BG10BF, right? You knew that. It is a smaller size, and I expected that, which is good. Is it the same size? Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. Man, I hope the D10 is on point, because I'm going to be disappointed if it's any lighter than that one. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So it basically is the same knife, except it has a warning, which this is great news. Oh, you know what, though? The choil's smaller, it looks like. Well, we'll see. Ow. See, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, and it's a flat grind. What is going on, Chaves? What is he doing? Okay. Okay, back up. So the Sangre here is, it's the street Sangre, so I think it's 3 1/4 inch blade, right? And I guess this is the, I don't know, the Liberation Street. I don't know how all that works, to be honest. But they're essentially the same size, almost the same knife, minus a screw for some reason. Except this one has a smaller choil. It has a Warney blade. That one obviously has a Tanto with, I think, a hollow back here and a flat up here. Oh, this feels pretty flat. I think it is a hollow. It's just very shallow. Both are flippers. And I was really excited once I decided I really liked this, because this was going to be this, but with a warning. Like, who wouldn't love that, right? Well, I don't know why they did the choil the way they did. The blade centering looks good. The flipper, I mean, it's all basically identical. Same late detent, which, you know, you get used to. The detent feels maybe a little lighter. Yeah, definitely a little lighter, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. It might be a little too strong on that one. Still flies out. You can miss it. So, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. This one, the blade sits a little deeper in the handle there. On this one, you can actually touch the edge. Like, I'm touching the edge right there. You have the clip, which, again, it bugs me to no end that he succumbed to the bullshit and he starts offering this, which is fine. You can offer that if you want. But I wish they hadn't have done the outside mounted screws, because it really just throws the knife off for me. So I gotta say right off the bat, I like it, right? I like it. Feels good in the hand. It does have the sharp edges, which is kind of a Chaves thing at this point. But I don't know why they didn't go full choil here. I mean, at least on this one, they gave you enough to get your finger in sideways like this. See that? I can get my finger in like that. On this one, man, it's really tight to do that. I'm just about going to poke myself to the point where I don't think I'd do it. You know, like maybe I'd do this for a second. But I'm mostly going to use it in a pinch grip like this anyway. And then I guess you just back off down here. But having that choil, it just makes it look like... Did I cut myself already? Yeah. It just makes it look... Yeah, look at that. That's from that right there. You can see that cut. See, it sucks. I would rather lose a little bit of blade and just have a full choil. So, like, maybe I could have somebody cut it in, because this feels really good. If you could have a full choil cut in. I mean, this feels fine, and I don't really need the choil. Like, it doesn't need to be there, but it would be nice if it was there. I don't know. Detent does feel a little lighter. Let's see how late it is. Oh, wow. So that's where it is on that one. And that's where it is on that one. It's just such a late detent. For example, here's the Devo Stout. It's my design. There's the detent. Let's see if I can show you. That's where our detent breaks. Right there. So as soon as you pass this point, right there, you're dropping, right? On these, you have to go through all this, break through that, and now you can shake down. So you can't disengage and start shaking. You get stuck. Does that make sense? And this, same thing. You're stuck there. You have to get past that point, and then you can shake down. I could probably adjust the detent a little bit so that it's a little tighter. It doesn't need to be much, but it's not like this one. I got used to that. It just feels really crisp and snappy. Man, I thought I'd like the Sangre better. And it honestly might just be that detent. Wait, no, there it went. Whoops. It's weird. Why did it feel... Oh, was my finger on it? I think my finger was on it or something. Let me just check. Make sure this screw is tight. Yeah, it was tight. Again, it's not like it's weak. I mean, you can see there how far I gotta pull. So it could just be once it wears a path, maybe. Could just be that one wore in a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I can always adjust it if I need to. It's almost better, though, because of the way the flipper tab is, not to have it be too stiff, you know. So I do actually really like it. I just wish it had that full choil, honestly. It's all I need is that full choil, and I think I'd be a happy camper with this one. But you do get a good amount of blade. And then I don't understand the flat grind. I think it's because of the tip, how it comes out. I think they just didn't want to make it too weak. And I honestly, I think that's a good move because it's not super thick stock. It's not thin, but it's not super thick. So, and the way it comes out to that very precise tip, I think it does make sense to not do the hollow grind if you want it to be a user knife, which, you know, I'm not saying I personally do, but he's selling them, so it makes sense. The weight is good, guys. That's the one thing that always bugged me on the Chaves knives is they were super heavy, even the G10 ones. But it feels like these are lighter because of the size, probably. Just to show you size-wise, here's a Spiro with hole. Always going to be around, 3¼ inches, something like that. And that's exactly what you're seeing there. This is the Jack Wolf Knives Midnight. A little bit smaller, probably around 3.1 on that guy. Here is a Sharp by Design Mini Tempest 3.5 inch blade. So yeah, yep, 3¼ inch blade on the Sangre there. So yeah, I don't know, I dig it. I was more excited after spending the day with this guy, but there's a couple of things that aren't great on it for me, but I still do like it. Somebody told me I'm gonna like it, but I'll immediately want to put thumb studs on it, and I don't really, because I had a scapegoat, and that's essentially what that was. I like the flipper. I got really used to it. I was having fun with this one today, and that's probably my problem, is this one is just that much. I mean, listen to it. It's just snappy, right? And this one doesn't really snap as much, so I may do an adjustment on it. Probably got to take it apart anyway, maybe drop some skips in it, just because this one, after fiddling or fidgeting with it for the day, it was maybe 50 flips in, it started to loosen up the pivot, then the other pivot started loosening, so I'm gonna have to Loctite it either way. And maybe once I don't have this one around, this one will feel better. That's just kind of how it goes, like, because that one I've been handling all day, but it does feel a little bit lighter on the flipper. So and I kind of anticipated, I think I said to everybody I talked to, I was like, yep, flipper's gonna be light, I'm gonna be pissed, and it's not too light, it's just lighter than I want. So anyway, there's the Chaves Sangre flipper. And then I bought 2 of these. Because the price was so good on these, I bought 2 each kind, I think it was. This is the Ahab from Artisan. It's a niche design. And I think they're like $79 or $69 on White Mountain Knives right now, and you use my code LeftyEDC, you'll save even more on that. And they come in these 2 configurations. There's the wood and the G10. Very lightweight, very thin, very interesting feeling, honestly. I kind of thought I'd like the wood better just because I hate G10, but I like the feel of the G10. It is a liner lock, so ooh, snappy. Interesting ergonomics, feels pretty good in the hand. Now, this is a Niche Designs knife, which is Nick Rogers, and he's the guy behind Niche Designs, but he his first design was the Ingress, and I finally got the handle one because Brent over at Backpack B actually had a prototype, and as much as I thought it was cool, it also was just way too tall for me, which, like, this way. And I'm getting that with this as well. It's just a little bit tall, but man, this is like really nice. I love the titanium clip backspacer. Oops, for 70 bones, I think this is really nice. And for me personally, and what I do, it's got a really good design aesthetic for it, right? Sheep's footy sort of blade. You can get your thumb and nestle it in right here, but it doesn't have, for me anyway, it doesn't have what I'm looking for in a pinch grip sort of feel. You can kind of climb up like this, I guess, and I'm getting a lot of the knife in my wrist. There's not a good way to pinch grip it. Like, I get stuck like this. So if you're going to be doing this type of cutting, I think it's going to be really good. But for pinch grips and stuff, I'm not really a fan much at all. Artisan is doing these thin liner locks pretty well. In their nature, because they're thin liner locks, they're gonna feel a little bit more sort of flimsy, so to speak. You know, you can rock the whole knife there. You can see that we are locked up. It's steel on steel, which is good. It's a very smooth lock bar. It's interesting there, but it works. The D10 on this one is dialed in. Man, it's an interesting knife. And it has this interesting or unique scale design where you can take these off, and then I guess the top scale comes off, and there must be a pivot under there. Let me see if I take this off. Just to see what happens. And there you go. So underneath there is a liner. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Was it the screw that the head felt pretty shallow there? This is a T8. Okay, good, good. Centering. Let's see how it looks with the scale on. Oh, centering definitely looks a little bit off. So I don't know if I can now take this, tighten that down. I was able to tighten it down. Put this back on. Yep, now we're centered. That's interesting. So it might need some Loctite on the pivot. This is pretty cool that you can do it that way. And they could easily sell you, I guess, scales, right? Now let's see how the clip mounts real quick. So the clip mounts internally, so little bit of a pain there. You can't just take the scales off. Man, you can't even get this scale off. You'd have to go, unless you can get to that clip. Oh, you can. Wow, that's pretty smart. So you can get to it. You can get to that clip screw by taking this scale off, and then you can take the clip screw off, take the clip off, then you can take this, and you'd still have the whole knife put together. And you could put the new scales on without having to disassemble at all. Centering's pretty good, not perfect after tightening that one. Yeah, definitely a cool knife. I don't think it's necessarily my kind of knife. Like I said, it's not exactly the best for what I like to do. Everything it's doing is pushing me in up. It's pushing me up this way, right? It's pushing the tip up to the sky where I want the tip to push down. So for example, if we look at my own knife again, the stout, when you get into a sort of pinch grip, that tip wants to be used, right? It wants to get to work and slice and dice, which that's what it was designed for. This, I get into a pinch grip and you see where the tip is? It's up high. It's kind of like it wants to be, I don't know, rocking cut. I don't know what it wants to do, but it doesn't want to do utility cutting, in my opinion. And then we have this black G10, which I think this looks super clean with the scales and everything, the screws. This one we could take a look at before I even flick it. Looks pretty centered. Again, I think it's off to this side. Let's see. D10 on this one. Yeah, I think they're about the same. You do a lefty flick. Yeah, pretty good. This one feels a little snappier, I think. Ooh, this feels really good in the hand. The wood feels good, but this feels really good, to be honest. It feels almost different. I do like it. And it slides out of the way. There's your action. Flick out. Lock up, pretty good. See there? Is it about the same on this? Yeah, it's a little bit later on the wood one. You can see the angle of the lock bar is a little bit further over, but not by much. Drop, really good. Okay, interesting knife. I like it. I really like the concept, and you know what? It's different, right? It's something we haven't seen a million of before. Um, Dude, what? Did I just... What? Hold the phone. You can index flick it up like that? That's crazy. I've never done that before on a knife. I think it's just the way the angle is, and because of how tall it is. I don't know. Interesting. So my plan with these was to, I think, review one and then give one away. I don't know what I'll do. I'll see if a bunch of people reach out to me as well, because I'm not adverse to selling the knives. I did pay for these, obviously, so they're mine to do whatever. I will note the thumb studs are unique and interesting. Then they're very good. I like how they feel. Good slow roll. I mean, definitely a cool and good knife. Just maybe not for me, which is fine, you know. Got a really nice belt satin under too. It's AR RPM 9. I love his logo. And there's the Artisan logo. I love how thin they are. It's kind of like, if you think about like a TRM knife, it kind of reminds me of that because of the scale thing and because of how thin it is and everything. This would probably be a really good EDC knife for somebody. It's not going to be a heavy use knife, obviously, but a good EDC. Man, they're pretty damn consistent here with the detents and everything. Got two good ones for sure. So I'll probably Loctite them and let them sit so that we're good to go on these. Along with the Chaves, so I got a lot of Loctiting to do. Alright, so that's the Artisans. Let's check out this Kubey then. So this is the Kubey Pike, and I actually bought this with Devo funds. So Colin and I decided to pick one of these up as market research because we're doing, obviously, a liner lock with Kubey. And this is a liner lock with titanium that they did. And I thought it would be cool to check out. Plus, it is something that is sort of up Colin's alley. So he can just keep it in the end, you know. There looks like there's an extra clip screw in here that's not anodized, I guess. So if you want a just full tie one, man, this feels good. Okay, cool. This is, I guess, their premium packaging, which is decent. And here it is. This is the Kubey Pike, and it's a front flipper. Not bad. And what I'm after is looking at the liner design. So you can see there it's on one side, milled on the other, and that's basically how our design is. And I wanted to feel if it still felt premium with that. And you can actually see our design right here. They did a version 1 prototype of this. We're having them do another prototype. And it's essentially, you can see the same thing. You have a liner lock, steel liner lock. Right there. Liner on one side, milled on the other. Now they have that cool milling pattern going on theirs. Ours has this pattern that we kind of designed. So they're sort of similar, you know. You got a little bit of contouring going on. But I just wanted to feel the knife and just, you know, get a taste for it. And yeah, it feels really good. Very milled out backspacer. Nice blade. It feels really good, honestly. This is the Kubey Pike. Cool looking design. It's designed by this guy. You can see there. I'm not sure who that is. This one's in 20 CB steel. And I believe these go for $160 on White Mountain Knives right now. Now it's just going to be a front flipper. So you just have this front flipper tab. And it's a little bit small for me personally. But it's still cool. You have internal stop pin that rides in there, which is similar to how we did it. Now I bet you, because it's a bead blast, and you do have a bit of a grind right there. I might be able to catch my finger and flick it. There you go. So you can reverse flick this. Try that right-handed. There you go. I'm sure you could learn to do it repeatedly. Let's try it one more. Yeah, so I can flick it pretty easy. It's a smaller knife. You know, I have a large glove size hand and I'm barely getting all four on back here. If I hang up here, I can get them on. But yeah, this is built really well. The D10 is dialed in. Yeah. Centering's perfect. Clip looks good. It's got a little bit of a goofy look to it, the clip. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe a little bit of a bend there. Nice blue ano on some of the parts here. I don't love the lock bar access because it's thin and then it's not cut back very far. So you're kind of using the meat of your finger to get it, or you're kind of dragging the front of your finger across, which I don't love doing this move. That's not my favorite. Can I do the rollback? Yeah, you can do the rollback. Yep. If you have smaller hands, I think this is going to be perfect. Colin likes smaller knives, so I think he's really going to like this. The build quality's there, so that is very good to know. And I know it's kind of late to do that, but I just thought it would be cool to check out because they are working on a second version of this. And, you know, we're just trying to... If we can give them any tips or anything based off of this knife, we will, you know, that kind of thing. So this is really good. So I'm impressed with that. So that's the Kubey Pike. We have the Artisan Cutlery and Niche Designs Ahab. I don't know why I'm getting I think it's Parson Blade Works or Parson something who designed that. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Ahab, and then we have the... Sangre flipper. Oop. See, sometimes it feels snappier than others. When I do this, it feels less snappy. Is this the same way? No, see, this one always feels a little snappier. I don't know. I think the clip is different somehow. I mean, it looks almost identical, right? What am I missing? Is the clip longer? No. No. I think it just is smoother or something. Maybe it is a little bit stronger, the D10. I need to shut up about it. You guys know me. And is this knife going to stick around long enough to even have that matter? I don't know. So anyway, that's the Street Sangre from Chaves. So those are all the knives I picked up from White Mountain Knives. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Love to hear about it. I love you guys, and stay tuned for full reviews / overviews / rapid review, whatever I decide to do on these guys. But I love you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.